This is the house that my dad built probably in 1940, thereabouts, that my brother and I were born in. And we moved away from here down to the farm right over there at the time when I was about 4 and a half, 5. We ran the farm. Pop quit working at DuPont because it was killing him and became a dairy farmer full time, working with his father. His father retired in this house. And my brother old brick bungalow. For years next to a big pasture, now they have all these other houses building up next to it. It took 30-40 years, but it's finally happened. Now my brother's suffering with brain cancer and chemo and radiation. Already had surgery. Life's taken another turn. This is the old farmstead. This big old tree right here, it's the one I fell out of when I was about 9 years old and broke both my arms. Here's another one. These two trees are right in front of the house. So right here, between those two trees, stood a 3-story house with a big basement. There's nothing left now, but they tore the whole thing down years ago. Nothing left but these trees in here. It was a huge place. Huge big old house. I thought this was a fruit tree, but looking at it now, doesn't look like one. Another big tree that was in the neighbor's yard in the back, because the house had 2 families living in it, and that was their tree, that big old thing. It wasn't so big then. Right in front of me, there was a 300-year-old tree right here, long since been pulled out. It was massive. Hurricane Hazel, it split right down the middle. Used to be between those 2 trees there, used to be right by the road. It looked like a train station stop. It was probably there before the road was ever put in for yeah, that building along the road is not there anymore. It was probably there for a carriage stop. It was a carriage house. He had supplies in it. So when I was growing up, it was just a little red building. It's like an old train station. This is where the milk house was right here. It's gone now. Everything's gone. There's a barn right here, big red barn. Got all the cows through here, milked them twice a day. Not much left now. It's all been torn out. A little bit of steel. see some railings that things ran on inside the barn. Here's some more steel railings. A little bit of concrete where we had the gutter cleaners in back of the cows. Not much left. And there's the Puerto Rican shack. You gotta walk over and take a look at that. This cinder block building was built to house our Puerto Ricans who we get once a season. It's beginning of each summer. We go to a labor camp and get the Puerto Ricans for the summer. And they would harvest the asparagus and the tomatoes. That's all we had them for. When I was 16, me and my friends got together and we slept over in this thing. Like maybe it was in the winter when there was no Puerto Ricans here. And got our first drunk on. We got a case of Rolling Rock, drank the whole thing. Me and 2 other guys, I think. My good friends at the time. That's the old Puerto Rican shack. A lot of history here. It's all going to be torn down soon because somebody bought the property. There's the other side of the old shack. And right in front of that, this road, right here, was kind of sandy and it went right down the field, corn on both sides. And we like to park in that lane with any lady we could get a hold of. Boy, oh boy. That's a history in that pasture too. Here's my house up the road where I'm staying. My brothers, my dad built that house when he first got married for $6,000, probably 1940. And I lived in there till I was 4. And then came down to this farm right down the road, a quarter mile away, but there's half a mile away, that there's nothing left of and has already been sold. This in front of me is the foundation base of a silo, a 50-foot silo right there. I used to get up on top of that silo with my .22 and shoot the plow out in the field and listen to the bullet ricochet off of it. Did a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, it was 50 feet tall. Now it's nothing left. This concrete you're looking at here, that concrete was part of the thing we had running behind the cows. That would clean out the stanchions behind them, take the cow poop out, take it right outside. It was high-tech automation then. This concrete you're looking at here is the part of the stanchions we had behind the cows. We had electrified paddles that would come by and take all the cow poop right out of the building, take it right outside. That was high-tech stuff then. And this is what's left of the foundation of the 50-foot silo we had for storing silage, chopped up corn and stalks and molasses added for the cows. Blow up in there every summer. And I used to get up on top of that thing 50 feet in the air and shoot my .22 at the plow out in the field, listen the bullets ricochet off. You do crazy things when you're a kid on the farm. There was a well right outside the milk house, and I can tell from looking at this is where the well was. This was the original well. Maybe it was 50 feet deep, and then we had to put in one that was 150 feet deep and run water to the house, because we had another one by the house that was 50 feet deep. It was terrible, terrible water. So this is right next to the milk house. I used to walk over a steel cover over this into the milk house here and pour the milk into a big stainless steel tank. I remember all that stuff. There's nothing left except a tree that wasn't even here then. Boy. I think this concrete on the edge here is the edge of the milk house. The door was probably right about there. But we had the big steel tank that held all the milk when I was growing up. We weren't using milk cans anymore at that point. And hired man used to take his showers right back there in the cold water in a tin tub. My goodness, hard life for him. And I remember being in here in the milk house on Saturday mornings, washing out the big milk containers and all the buckets, and clean everything up for the next day. Just make out here. This mound, I'm going to stand on it. This mound of dirt, diameter of that 300-year-old tree that's in our yard. It's split between hazel. That's how big that tree was. All the dirt. It was massive. One more shot of the two big trees that were in front of the house. And I think the one on the left here, it's right in the middle, is the one I fell out of when I was about 9 and broke both wrists at the same time. You get a lot of big limbs broken off of these trees, and they never really got that much bigger. They were right in front of the house. Huge house, 3 floors high, and a big basement. Ran the furnace with coal.